Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon. Hello and welcome to Let's Sip and Talk with Freema. So today is a very special day because we have one of our very own Orangeburg County, Paige Waymer. She is running for mayor. Yes, you guys heard it. She's running for mayor. We need everybody to go out and vote. So I'm gonna bring on Paige. No need to wait. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Hey Paige, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Freema?
I am doing fine. Thank you so much for coming on. So we're going to dive right on in because I know you're busy and we need to get some pertinent information out there. So Paige, running for mayor, where did this start? How did it come about? What made you decide you wanted to do this?
I've always decided, I've always known that I wanted to run for mayor since I ran in the 7th grade going into the 8th grade to be the school president. So it was just one of those things that, once you get a taste of winning something, you just kind of always, follow the track. And so, it's been something that I talked about forever since I've been a kid. I just never thought that I would be back home as young as I am right now, running for mayor. But it's a need.
It's definitely a need. It's definitely a need. Shakima Ford said, congratulations. So now let me ask you, I know you mentioned ever since 7th grade, you knew you wanted to run, for something, but was this kind of, and I know I'm about to sound crazy, I don't want to say planned, but did you just wake up and say, not necessarily that day, of course, but like this year, I'm going to run? Or did something just trigger for you to say, this is the time I want to do it?
No, it was actually a transition. I planned it. I'd been working on it for 10 years, but it took me 2.5 years to transition just because professionally I've always been a person who always had like a backup plan or backup to the backup. So I just wanted to make sure when I made the transition to come back home, like I was skillfully set in my profession so that no matter what, I would be okay.
Right.
And so I decided, when I was in Charlotte and I took a contract to go out to Chattanooga, and I was sitting out there talking to some of the mountain women out there. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to come back, especially since my mom is a little older and I wanted to be able to spend more time with her. And, I had been coming back talking to the kids in the high school and
Right.
that played sports. And, some of the things that they were saying, especially about like, OW or
Yeah.
just being around here was really troublesome to me.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And speaking of sports, like you mentioned, Shakima said if she's running for mayor like she did on the basketball court, it's definitely all hers. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Now, when you say you were speaking with the children, and it was disheartening because it is. I'm here. I hear it. I see it. What type of things you feel that Mayor Waymer, can bring to Orangeburg? What things do you plan on changing? What type of plans you have for us?
I'm sorry, right now I can't.
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's something with our connection.
Oh, you can't.
Yeah,
Can you
it's
hear
something with
me?
the connection.
Can you hear me now? No. Oh God. I don't know what happened, you guys, but while she comes back, look, I don't know which screen to go to. Thank you, Alan. While she comes back in, we need to make sure, that we spread the word. We get our 18-year-old and up out there to vote. A lot of people don't vote, so we need to take this time because it is time for change. I'm just going to be honest. It is time for change. So you sideways. So we need to take this time out and put it out there. I don't care if we have to take people, to vote or show them how, get them registered, whatever it takes. It's September the 14th. We need to, it has to start somewhere. Change has to start somewhere. So we definitely need to do our part as a community. Oh, welcome back.
Thank you.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay.
heard you on the back part. Yeah,
Okay.
we need to do our part of the community.
Definitely, we do. We need to get people there. We need to help them get registered if they're not. It's a lot of young people, 18, that really don't know too much about, anything, to be honest with you. So that's where the community come in. That's where that village come in to help make a change in our community that we need. Angela said the community can use your inspiration and energy for change. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I actually I don't think anybody, a lot of people spend their time trying to get out of Orangeburg, not knowing that there's so
Mhm.
many beautiful things around here. And it's just the sense of community that's been lost around here a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And trying to give people hope and trying to get them to move forward and see the beauty in things is the upward battle. But I feel like I can do that, because I've always
Yeah.
been someone to see the beauty in Orangeburg.
Well, that's a plus. And that's what we need. We need someone that believes in us. You see what I'm saying? Not so much, okay, oh, is this, that, and the third. But we need someone that believes in us and that's willing to put their foot out there and make this change. Angela said our generation has to lead us into the future. And that's the truth. That's what a lot
They
of people
do.
don't think.
But if we continue at the rate at which we're going, we're not gonna have a generation to help us into the
Mm,
future, and that's what I'm most scared about. These kids with everything that we have now, especially with technology and opportunities and things that are going on here. I'm just afraid that maybe they might look up and it won't be opportunities for them, and it won't be a future for them. And I
yeah.
don't want that to happen. And, you can't save them all, but you at least want to build in safety nets to help those that you can, or at least if somebody falls, they don't fall so far that they can't be saved.
Right, absolutely. I was asking earlier, without going into too much detail, if you can or if you can, what are some of your plans, to help Orangeburg? What are you putting yourself out there for? What is your goal?
First to make small businesses a big thing around here. I don't think a
Mhm.
lot of people recognize that small businesses really keep Orangeburg afloat, especially
Right.
with the class of students that we get that come to the universities and to the technical schools. I don't think that people actually understand that. In order to to make this place work, you have to, you have to understand what are the key elements here for the community. And I've recognized on the outside, I'm saying, for a minute, that education, small business, and criminal justice reform is like one of the biggest things that we need around here. All three of those things kind of help each other out,
Right.
and we just have to make a move forward on that. And I definitely want to help small businesses, but I especially want to help the kids around here. So making sure that we find better pathways to make them want to go to school, want to stick
Right.
around here, keep their talents here, bringing businesses here that want to invest in our future and the infrastructure of Orangeburg, and having, incentives in place for, small businesses that want to come here to help the infrastructure of
Yeah.
Orangeburg. And
Yeah.
we have to get all of these things clicking on the right cylinders, as well as having, our police officers want to be involved in the community as well.
Right. Definitely. Definitely.
Now,
Angela. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, we have to inspire, encourage, and direct the youth in Orangeburg. Small businesses will flourish here. I believe it. Just like you said, it will.
we know small business we know small businesses are flourishing because we've actually seen that over a long period of time,
Right.
especially on the railroad track, on the railroad corner that we have
Right.
downtown and downtown period. A
Period.
lot of places that we do go to around here are small businesses. We don't
Yeah,
have too many, big name brand places that are here.
that's
So
true. I never looked at it that way, but that's very true. So, what is it that we can do for you,
yeah,
Paige?
I
As
mean,
the
other than the restaurant,
well, that's true. Yeah. Other than the big name restaurants,
as a
it is.
community, for me, yeah, as a community, for me, which for me, get my message out and understand that I'm somebody who I heard, when I would come home or when I would be around and when I would go to meetings, for the city or the county council. I'm someone who heard people saying, hey, all this talent in Orangeburg is gone away and nobody wants to come back and help. Nobody
Mm,
wants to come back. They all just want to leave. And here
yeah.
it is, you have somebody who went out into the world and gained experiences and rubbed elbows and networked and got things handled, and now I'm back and I'm trying to share that information and make it better. So you can't say to me that I was a talent that left and didn't come back. I stayed there. Even when I left, I was still here because I made myself available for the people that were here.
Right.
So
Right.
for me, just share that with people and let them understand I'm here to work for them. Like ain't no selfish reasons involved in this whatsoever with me coming here and wanting to run for mayor. This is
Right.
all to make Orangeburg better, all to because you go places and you hear people talk about Orangeburg. It's a lot of people that have had
Yeah.
experiences with Orangeburg. I've never been
Right.
anywhere and not heard somebody say something about Orangeburg, and people don't
That's the
understand
truth.
that. But yeah, I'm here and I'm putting in the work, and I want to work for you guys, and I want to make Orangeburg better, and I want your kids to have a future and to be able to help you out in the future and to help me out as well.
Right. Absolutely. We have to work together. It takes a
Mm-hmm.
team to make the dream. Did I just make that up, or is that's a real saying, huh?
We'll just
Angela
go with
said
there's no I in team.
Angela said the criminal justice system here does need a reform of businesses to grow here.
Well, I don't necessarily think that the criminal justice reform needs to change in order for businesses to flourish here. I do think that there needs to be incentives for businesses to come here, and those incentives needs to keep those businesses here. It needs to be a purpose. If our money keeps going out of the community and going to
Yeah.
Somerville, Charleston, Columbia, Greenville, Charlotte,
Yeah.
Atlanta, and all these other major cities, will never grow. We'll never
Mm,
get to our full potential. And I don't believe that this is an area that can't have all of those things that those places offer. Maybe we won't have
Right.
as many of those places, but trust, and I think everybody can agree when something good comes to Orangeburg, it flourishes.
It
It
flourishes.
flourishes very well because people do support. They do.
That's the truth. That's one thing I
Mm-hmm.
can say. Do you think the change needs to start with the criminal justice system in Orangeburg? Do you think it needs to
No, the
start there?
change needs to start with our kids. No, the change needs to start with our kids. Education. I don't think that a lot of people understand that a lot of education around here is big business.
I think I lost you on Paige.
Is it? You can't hear me? You see
Okay,
me?
I can hear you now. I can hear you
I'm
now.
here. Okay. Oh, you can hear me now? Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So, what people fail to realize is that education brings in a lot of money here, and it brings in a lot of diverse people, especially culturally, around here, and the things that they look for. I mean, just take it. If you understand and you see the growth in the Asian community, the Indian community here, they're taking advantage of us that we want our kids to actually take advantage of.
Yeah.
They're doing the most. They're maximizing it, and we want to be able to retain that type of talent here. We can do
Right.
it for all the kids here. We just need to steer them in the right way and let them see that there is a great purpose in working it. If you work the system the right way, you'll be great. And I want to create a system wherein when the kids get to the 10th grade, they can start going into their professionalism.
Mm.
Try to get them in a skills trades, and have them when they come out of school they can go into the workforce, or they can go to college and have 2 years left, and then maybe do another 2 years and go to grad school. Whereas it's not as much, it's not as expensive as it would be if they had to do 4. There are programs and things set in place that just needs to be a broader reach of these programs and a better understanding of what we can do to help push them along. Because I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, I graduated school, after my 10th grade, going into 11th grade. I was done. I worked on, what I wanted to do for my profession going forward when I was in school. And I think that kids have way more, advances and things that they can use now than what I had.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, I am somewhat of an academic, so I know what it is. When I say that, academics is big money, it really is big money. And Orangeburg is built off of economics, agriculture, retirees, and small businesses, and we have to recognize that.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Um, Angela mentioned her reasoning for saying businesses make, I mean, as far as the crime, she feels like increasing crime, could hinder the big businesses from coming
Well,
here.
yeah, all of those things go hand in hand. But before a job considers even coming here, um, to relocate, they look at education first because they want to know the people that they're hiring. And so, if we can get them educated, get them in the
Mhm.
skills, and not have them with idle hands and looking into the wrong things, crime goes
Right.
down. Anybody knows where there's not opportunity, there's crime. We all
Yeah.
know that, and that's a fact. That's a statistical fact. So we have to get them busy and doing things and taking
Absolutely.
advantage of things. And then when jobs come, we can be able to sit at the table and negotiate with these businesses that want to come here and offer jobs and offer opportunities for the people here. Because what we want to be able to do is negotiate as well when we come to the table. We
Right.
want them to invest in Orangeburg as well. Not just come here and offer jobs. There's healthcare that needs to be taken care of. There's roads. There's homes. There's all kinds of it. These companies, they're willing to offer once they come to the if we come to the table with the right, things as well. Negotiating
Right.
tools. So it's a hand in hand, and saying in both of them. But I really feel as though, you know, with all the things that we have around here, if we make our education bridges way better and
Mm-hmm.
make it so hard that the kids don't have a, don't have a way to be like, nah, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, because there's activities that come in education as well, and
Right.
learning and traveling and all of those things.
That's the truth. Yes, definitely, definitely. And it makes so much sense, because an idle mind, your mind start wandering into things. So if we do have things for them to do, such as more education, implementing things, like you said, in the 10th grade, starting them young so they can see their future and they know that, okay, once I
Right.
graduate or whatever, I have a job. I have the skills it takes, so that
Right.
gives them something to look forward to.
Right. I don't want them just in school to be able to fill out an application. I mean, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, all
Yes.
these people, they make a lot of money. They make really good lives. And
Mhm.
kids, I don't think that they see. Everybody's not going to be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, or any of those
Right.
things. And people need to really understand that. And they really need to push that understanding to those kids. Like, you can have a great life, having a skilled job as well as having a skill and not be as stressful. I just want you to go out into the world and be a great person, a good human, someone who gives back. You know, I
Right.
want you to
Right.
be able to see that it's way more than life than just Orangeburg. Cause I mean,
Yeah.
we're older. Once you start working and you get around people that you work and you see they take their PTO and they go this place, they go that place, they go on
Yeah.
trips and stuff like that's fun. Like, you really want to be able to enjoy that type of lifestyle and
Exactly.
be able to do that stuff. Yeah.
That's
So
the
you
truth.
gotta explain to them what exactly you're investing in. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you mentioned, it's more than just Orangeburg. And and that's where the community come in at. That's where talking to our children, and not just our children, because, and I'm gonna be honest with you, some parents has not seen outside of Orangeburg. So how are they going to teach
Right.
their children? There's more to it. So that's where everyone comes in at. But as parents, we have to be receptive to taking that, educational talk from another adult to your
Right.
children, if you get what I'm saying.
Right.
We have to be able to do that.
And I want
Go ahead.
and I want parents to understand, like, just because you may not have that type of education or you may not have had that experience, you need to encourage your
Mm,
kids to really take advantage of things and to really see outside of what's in front of the front step. You know, I
right.
don't think that I think sometimes parents get defeated themselves and they don't
Mm-hmm.
know how, and they don't
Yeah,
know, they don't have anyone to turn to. But I mean, I really feel as though if you invest in moving that forward, we'll have a great future ahead of us.
absolutely.
And if you want to
Um,
create programs for them as well, I mean, it's not
yeah,
just for the kids. I mean, I want stuff for adults as well, because I want jobs to come in here and to invest in, the continuing education of us. You know,
yes, definitely.
just because I
It's
started
never too
here
late.
working in this plant or doing this doesn't mean I have to stay here. You know,
Absolutely.
you want to retain them and give them incentives for staying here, but by no means do I really want them to, you don't have to stay here forever. I want you to go branch off and be the best, but I want to keep you
Right.
here for a few years and foster that and grow that.
Yes,
That's
yes.
all. Yeah.
Angela said, I agree with the opportunity. Crime does increase. How can we get the community interested in furthering their education? What are some of the strategies?
Well, like I said earlier, with offering more skills, more trades when the kids
Yeah,
get into high school, and to start working with the universities and the colleges we have around here in the area. I mean, when I was in school, I stayed at South Carolina State in Claflin on a program, or something they were holding there that the school would take us there for a field trip or anything.
yeah.
We have to be able
Intimidate.
to expose like that any if you want something to happen, there has to be exposure, and there's no exposure right
Absolutely.
now. I mean, it's slack on both sides of the coin right now, and it goes from the high school, middle school, elementary to the universities and the
To the
colleges. It really
university.
is. Nobody seems yeah, nobody seems enthusiastic about it.
Yeah.
It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be that way.
It should not be that way.
There's so many. Yeah, it's so many things to offer. And when people come in and they're enthusiastic about it and moving forward and doing great things, I don't know. After a while, it's just with anything. It kind of dwindles down little by little by little by little.
That's the truth.
And I'm just somebody who's never been affected by that type of stuff.
So that's good. You had positive people around you. You had a support.
Right.
You had a team of support, and some of us lack that, unfortunately. But we're gonna pull it together. We're gonna work as a community. Ice Coast said education is at its forefront, and that burgeoning. Am I saying that right? Burgeoning. No. Child needs help at home. However, nowadays, if these kids go astray, crime overcomes most of our youth. And that's what Angela was speaking about. He did say usually it's hard to get kids to attempt to listen if there's an alternative for them to see or embrace another realm of thinking. What are your thoughts on that? And that kind of goes with what you were speaking about, exposure.
Right. With your parents. Yeah, a lot of things start at home. And to be honest with you, sometimes parents need to be okay, I'm somebody who recognizes that there's been at least 2 generations back to back that has been lost because the kids are from the age range of 12 to 17 that were having kids, and they were raising as they were growing up, they were raising their kids, and then their kids turned around and they had kids too. So who led them? Who was leading them? It's not too late for them. It's not that they can't be better people or somebody can't show them a way, but they have to be willing. And that's what I was saying about putting in safety nets. You can't save everyone, but if I put in enough safety nets and you fall, at least when you fall, you are able to pick yourself up from not being on the ground. Nobody wants to start from the ground floor and have to make their way back up. I mean, yeah, there's crime around here, and there's a lot that says oh well, we got these gangs and we got this and we got that. Idle hands are the devil's playground, and it has to be something at home that's not working to make somebody else grab a hold of these kids and get them to put a gun in their hand and to make them feel and say and do the type of things that they're doing. So I mean, it's not like it's not like I don't know people in the street, so I don't know street people. I do, and I have these conversations with them as well. But there's a lot of factors that go into these things. Why are guns so accessible to these kids? Why are they? Where are they getting them from? Because now we can start sitting down and saying, hey, where the OGs at?
Yeah.
Are they talking to these kids? Are they really? I mean, because I know OGs when I was growing up and I was playing sports, when I was going, different basketball courts around here and people saw me doing different things, they didn't want me to stray away. They kept me on the right path.
Right.
That's what you need. You need people trying to keep these kids and their talents and keep them on the right path. And I don't feel like there's anybody around here right now that can keep them on the right path because they don't have. You can't get someone hope if you don't have hope yourself.
That's the truth. It's very small. It's not like we again. It goes to us working together. Like we have to. Have to. There's no ifs and buts about it.
Yeah, because the first time, I mean, I've seen it plenty of times. You go to correct the child, and the parent will come up and say something obscene to you or any of it. And now you got people that are just scared to just correct any type of behavior or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's
I spoke
and a lot of this, with putting your kids on Ritalin and all this other stuff. That you got to understand too, like. You really hold back your kids as well when you keep them in those bad classes, as they say, or those slow or remedial courses and stuff like that, just so you can keep that check coming into your house. You stunt growth for your child as well, and you limit the opportunities as well when you do that.
Right. I agree.
So the mindset, the goals of the home have to change as well.
I agree 100%. Hello, Melvin. Thank you so much for tuning in. Angela said our community has an older population and they don't adapt well to change. What can we do to support you in these changes?
Well, first and foremost, the older people that their voices are heard where they need to be heard. they're involved when they need to be involved. And I guarantee you on September 14th, a lot of older people will be out there voting.
Absolutely.
So you can't just say, you can't come around here and just say, hey, the old people are taking over, they're doing this and they're doing that. They're involved. When I go to those meetings and I sit down and I'm around and about, old people are involved.
That's
and
good.
they throw their weight around. They do. They throw their weight around here, but we don't understand. We have just as much weight, just as much power, as they do. So you got to throw your weight around as well. You got to get involved too. Everybody's life is busy. They're older people. They're retired. They have a little bit more time to be in this and that or whatever.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you're younger. You're more enthusiastic. You're more of a go-getter. You want to be involved. Like, it's the same thing with people saying, your life is affected on the local and the state level. It's not the national when you start voting for the president. It's the local and the state level, because these things affect you the most.
Right.
These are direct.
These are
definitely your life.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So
definitely.
I feel as, even though it's a retirement community, I feel as though we outnumbered them, but we're not putting the best foot forward.
So we got to do our part. As some of us are Generation X, I think. Some of us are millennials. Millennials, whatever. We have to get out there. We have to do it.
Yeah, that Generation Z and all that other stuff. They
what was Generation X? Did I even say that right? Generation X. That might be a movie or something.
No,
I don't
they're
know.
behind us. Yeah,
We're
Generation X is behind us.
We're still considered millennials, I believe. Yeah. Woo, child.
We are.
Young and youthful.
Yeah, millennials are from like 1980 to 94 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so
and if you think about it, we had like some of the last, hands-on growing up.
Yeah. You're right. We have to come together. We have to do this, and we have to make change, and it has to start somewhere, and it needs to start right here in our community. September the 14th, people, get your people out there to vote. Get your kids out there to vote. Let them know what's going on. Get them registered if they're not registered. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask. That's what I always say. Ask. I don't know how to go about doing this. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it. Ask. Put it out there. It's time for change. It's time for change. Paige, I don't want to hold you too long. I know you're very busy, but as far as your candidacy, I don't think I said that right. But your campaigning and all that good stuff. What can we do? Where's the next thing? What do you have planned so we can make this a big hoorah?
I just had an event this Saturday where I got a lot of kids signed up with the new county library that's coming into town. But you can find me on Waymer for Mayor on Facebook and on Instagram. You can inbox me. You can ask me. I mean, I take volunteers. I go out every morning when I get off of work, and in the afternoons before I go out, weather permitting, and I canvass neighborhoods. I talk to people. I put up signs. If you want me to come and talk to somebody, I'll come and I'll talk to them. I don't have an issue for that. I don't have an issue with that. My fault. I'll talk to anybody. If you want me to get in the know and, to talk to somebody and just give out information, I'm here. That's what I'm here for, to help you guys out.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that, and we're ready. We're ready to take it on. We're ready to start something new. This is the beginning of Orangeburg. This is the new beginning for Orangeburg. Paige for Mayor. September the 14th. I'll put it out there. We put everything else on Facebook. Share. Go to the Facebook page. Paige for Mayor. Share it. September the 14th. You gotta put it out.
Talk to those grandparents that aren't on Facebook. Talk to them. Let them know. Hey, we got this young, enthusiastic young woman that's coming into town that wants to do great things around here. Now, I want to do a lot of things with the senior citizens as well.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right, y'all. We always saying we need a change. We have it. We just got to do our part to make it happen, okay? Paige, before I let you go, is there anything else you would like to put out there?
No, just like I said, you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram at Waymer for Mayor. Like I said, you can hit me up. You can talk to me, even on my regular page, which is Paige Waymer. You know what I'm saying? You can find me on that as well. If you want to talk to me, if you need me for anything, just reach out. I'm available. You know, I'm available for any and everybody.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. You guys, thank you for tuning in. Make sure y'all put the word out there. If you didn't know, now you know. Make sure they know September the 14th, it's time to make this Orangeburg a new beginning and get things rolling. It has to start from somewhere. And as we say, always, let's sip and talk with Freema. Peace and love. Paige for Mayor.